Directorate of Public Relations of the Australian Military Forces, we welcome all ranks to this parade. This special Anzac Day commemoration program, produced by Robert Peach, is dedicated to all soldiers of the Queen. The 25th of April belongs in a very special way to the diggers of the First World War. And no one begrudges them their place in the sun on this day of the year, least of all their sons and grandsons who so grandly in the Second World War and in Korea upheld the honor of their father's name. So this edition of Soldiers of the Queen is especially for you. You, the now more than middle-aged men who went out to fight in 1914. You, the nurses, who set up a tradition of heroism for others to follow a quarter of a century later. You, the women folk who kept the home fires burning. Our opening music is for you, for all of you, because this is your day. For this great Australian day, a great Australian song.
Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree, and he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a-waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, you'll come a-waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee. And he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. Waltzing, Matilda, waltzing, Matilda. You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. And he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Up rode the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Who's the jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. Waltzing, Matilda, waltzing, Matilda. You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. Who's the jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. Up jumped the swagman and sprang into the billabong. You'll never take me alive, said he, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. Waltzing, Matilda, waltzing, Matilda. You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me. And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a-waltzing, Matilda, with me.
An extraordinary feature of each of the 2 world wars was the unexpected appearance of a flower to cover the sites of great destruction. One instance is the Flanders Field poppy, a replica of which is still used to commemorate the 11th of November 1918. Another, the little London Pride, which, after a long absence from that city, was found climbing prolifically over many bombed sites between 1940 and 1945 and became the theme of a Noel Coward hit. But still another instance is the one to which, because of its dual significance, we give special place in this program. Remember the rose of no man's land? Someone applied the words to the nursing sisters of World War I, and it's to you, nursing sisters particularly, that we give a toast now. Perhaps it seems to you such a long time ago. Perhaps these days you have reason to feel both lonely and saddened. But to the men you nursed over 40 years ago, you are still the bright-eyed, unwearied, heroic girls who crossed the seas to care for them. To them, you will each be forever a rose of no man's land. Since 1915, there's been the closest comradeship between the troops of Australia and New Zealand. They fought together in World War II and again with the United Nations troops in Korea. And New Zealand today sends Staff Corps cadets to the Royal Military College at Duntroon in the Australian Capital Territory, that training ground of so many of our best officers. And so, with memories of friendships forged in the days of Anzac, we salute our old comrades. "25th of April, 1915, Sunday. It was dark when the destroyers went out to the waiting transports. Darkness stretched away up the Dardanelles and curled about the ancient islands of the Aegean Sea. It lay heavily on the land, adding to the tension of those 12,000 boys who were going out to fight, many of them to die. They were only boys, the Australians in this show, most of them only 18, 19, 20, many younger. In more peaceful days, back home in the cities and back of Burke, up at Cairns and down in the Huon Valley, they'd have been working a bit and playing a bit too. They might have been studying, they might have been falling in love. But war instead has brought them to this, the riding transports and the waiting destroyers. From the troop ships, they jump to the decks of the destroyers, which will take them in towards the land. Another stop, another transfer, down the sides of the destroyers on scramble nets and rope ladders, into cutters this time. Down they go quickly, man after man. It is 4 a.m, still dark. Soon the first line of boats is ready and they're towed away. That's how it was done in that war. The boys sitting up in ship's boats, 40 to a boat, and every 3 or 4 boats towed along by a steam pinnace. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't going to be fun. It wasn't fun on the 25th of April, 1915, not when the last of the dark was broken by that stabbing searchlight, though it wasn't that gave them away. It was a towboat, one of the pinnaces, which suddenly spat out a plume of flame and sparks, so that it wasn't dark anymore. And then the shrapnel started coming from Garber Teep as the boats were towed in for that last stretch to the beach. And they're running, those boys, running through death, running to the cliffs. Australians, New Zealanders, climbing the rocky heights of Gallipoli in the streaky dawn. They are climbing into history. They are adding the name of Anzac to that roll call of heroes about which men 1,000 years and more from now will still write and sing. But they knew none of this on that morning of long ago across the other side of the world. They were just boys going gallantly to battle. Some of them, you who are listening now, would come home again. But home was at the end of a long, long trail.
Till the day be going down that long, long trail with you. Nights are growing very lonely, days are very long. I'm a growing weary, only listening for your song. Old remembrances are thronging through my thronging till it seems the world is full of dreams, just to call you back to me. There's a long, long trail winding into the land of my dreams, where the nightingales are singing and the white moonbeams. There's a long, long night of waiting until my dreams all come true, till the day that I'll be going down that long, long trail with you.
That the spirit of Anzac Day 1915 lives on in the present was shown on the 24th, 25th of April 1951, when the 3rd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment went into action near Kapyong in Korea. They had been deployed to stem an assault against the United Nations troops, and to do this took up a defensive position north of Pukan River. Going through from the first day to the second, the battalion was completely surrounded. Ammunition was low and there was no time for food. But against overwhelming numbers, the 3rd Battalion stood its ground and turned defeat into victory. And for its heroic action, the battalion was awarded the United States Presidential Citation. That spirit will never die in Australia. That Dame Mary Gilmore believed in this land and its people is shown in the words of her song, "No foe shall gather our harvest."
Sons of the mountains of Scotland, Welshmen from Frag and Defile, breed of the moors of England, children of Erin's Isle, we stand foursquare to the tempest, whatever the battering hail, no foe shall gather our harvest, or sit on a stockyard rail. No foe shall gather our harvest, or sit on a stockyard rail. Our women shall walk in honor, our children shall know no chain. This land that is ours forever, the invader shall strike at in vain. Brook and Pagoda, could ever the old blood fail? No foe shall gather our harvest, or sit on a stockyard rail. No foe shall gather our harvest, or sit on a stockyard rail. We are the sons of Australia, of forebears who fashioned the land. We are the sons of women who walked with them hand in hand. And we swear by the dead who bore us, by the heroes who blazed the trail. No foe shall gather our harvest, or sit on a stockyard rail. No foe shall gather our harvest, or sit on a stockyard rail.
Memory on Parade.